Shit. What up there, anime and manga communities? This is your boy Chide, or Chide, whatever you want to call me. And today, I'm here to talk about Magi, the Kingdom, and/or the Labyrinth, and/or the Manga Magics. Yeah. Anyways, so before I get started, yet again, camera's acting fucking retarded, so if my voice desyncs, I apologize ahead of time. So now let's go ahead and get into the chapter at hand. Now this week's chapter, Magi, chapter 237, if I haven't already said it, is it's just the further explaining of how the world as we know it exists. And there was one thing I didn't really like, and it's just personal. You know what I'm saying? This is not me taking anything away from the chapter or saying this is a bad chapter. I just wanted to see this happen in a different way. Even though I already knew how this series was going to go, I just hope later on in the series it can come back around and deal with this in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So this chapter starts off with Ugo creating this bridge between Almaturan and the New World. And what Ugo says is, okay, well, the bridge is created through Solomon's Rook, the White Rook. And Ugo gets the will of the White Rook, from what I was gathering, because it was kind of confusing the way it was being presented, but from what I was gathering was he goes to the Sacred Palace to use that as the bridge between the two worlds, and he uses Solomon's Rook, his will that still remains there, as that bridge. So that's how it works. And now, here's the thing that I didn't really care for. Ugo says because it's Solomon's will and all Solomon ever wanted was for everyone to be equal and to see each other the same, was that when they go over to over to the New World, they all become one. The racial distinctions go away and they all become the same look. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all human now. And I don't know. I don't really care for that. And it's just a personal thing. I don't care for it because I wanted to see them work out their racial differences because they figured out a way to work it out. Not because everyone became this fucking uniform gray. You know what I'm saying? That's where my issue is. I wanted to see the actual problem worked out. And actually people look at other races and just say, okay, well, we are all the same on the inside. Why do we all have to be the same on the outside? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to see it kind of wrap up like that, but maybe we'll get to see that later on in the series, because that's what I would prefer to see. I would prefer to see them actually, have that sort of fixed. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's not really a fix to racism. You know what I'm saying? Is by, oh, well, we're all the same color. That gets rid of all of the differences. It gets rid of your race. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me, I didn't care for that personally. I didn't. I'm not taking anything away from the chapter. I'm just saying I personally hope that later on we will see a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give me a little something later on. So, anyways. Now on to the next part of the chapter, where Ugo goes to further on to explain that the New World is going to need a king, and it's going to need a good king because of how the races act, because they're all by their sentient life, and by law of being sentient life, you kind of have this issue of self-preservation and anxiety, and the people are going to need a pillar to kind of keep them all going down the right path instead of on these paths of warfare and all that. So he creates the Magi system, in which 3 magicians of great power will choose a king. And sometimes they can choose, and Ugo addresses that, yes, sometimes they can choose kings with black hearts, sometimes they can choose kings with good hearts, but it's going to be on the Jinn, the original, the original race leaders to choose, and they have to stay behind in Almaturan to watch over and be the deities, as Ugo puts it, of the metal vessels, which they choose to do. But it's their job to allow the kings to use their power and to, I guess in that way, choose which king is truly worthy of having the king spot. So then Ugo goes on to further explain that he's going to go into the royal palace and watch over things and set up the Magi system and, choose Magi through that way and fashion. And which he does. He goes to the sacred palace, and apparently 1,000 years has passed since, oh, and here's another thing before I go on. Within the 1,000 years that passed of everyone moving over to the New World, apparently the red lions and the elder dragons were just too powerful. They was too strong because when they go over to there, Ugo's like their power is just too great. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, I can't completely lock them. They're just that they are too strong. So he put them over into the South continent of the New World, so that, you know, they wouldn't have so much of an issue with the other people. Funny how that turned out. Anyway, so yet it's confirmed. What is it? Morgiana is a red lion. I mean, we already knew that, but, you know, it's just cool to further note that. So, guess Alibaba about to getting them lion cheeks. Bestiality for the win. Anyway, so from there, he goes on to explain how the people from Almatoran, the evil, corrupt dudes, are coming back into the New World, but they're still sealed in another dimension. This is just their consciousness in the New World. So Ugo then releases Aladdin so that he can teach Aladdin, and Aladdin can kind of stop this. And, then it shows us Aladdin growing up, kind of, and wanting that freedom to be out of his cage and go see the world and go see the sun and just go live. And he does. That's pretty much the whole flashback as a whole. So this is the end of the flashback. I'm gonna greatly assume this is it. If next week we still in flashback, I don't know what to say. I don't know, because I've said it in the past 3 videos, well, next week should be the end, or next week should be the end. This time I'm almost sure. I'm not gonna bet because I'm not that sure, but this time I'm pretty sure the flashback is over. So here's hoping it is. I mean, well, I like the flashback. Yet again, I always say this. I thought this flashback was great. It could have done better explaining some things, and but some people would say it dragged on. I liked it. I thought the characters were cool. Yes, explaining could have been a tad bit better, but either way it goes, it was a good flashback arc. One of the best I've seen in a while. Better than fucking Naruto. Let me not throw them shots. Let me put the safety back on my gun real quick. I'm not shooting yet. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and call that a Let's Talk. This is your boy chdeaaanime signing out. Please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and do other things to help Black Brother thrive. And I will catch y'all on the flip. It has been golden. Peace out, anime and manga communities.